Hello students, again we are going to continue with the chapter number 10, exception handling. So in last lecture we have seen that is try, except and else block, right? These three blocks only we have used in last lecture's program. Now in today again we are going to have the try, except, else block also. But along with that we are having one more block, that is finally block, which is actually optional. Okay, you can have try with try block with except, you can have try with else only, means except is not there. Similarly you can have try and finally block, so this is one more block. So basically whatever the statement which we write inside the finally block, that will get executed even though there is a exception. So whenever you want some statement to be executed anyhow, then that particular statement you should put inside the finally block. So finally block is used for that purpose only. Even though there is an exception or not, that doesn't matter. Whatever you have inserted or whatever you have written inside the finally block, that is going to get executed 100%. But remember, finally block is attached to the try block. So without try, you cannot make use of finally block. So just see the syntax for the try and finally. We are having normal syntax only. First we are having try block, then we can have multiple except block, then we are having else block, and after else we are having finally block. So now we are going to see its example. So just see the example. Again the same program we are using. We are taking a number from the user and we are trying to divide that particular number to 100. Means with the help of that number we are trying to divide the 100 and we are storing the result inside RE variable. So in this we are having except, which contains two types of exception, and for both the exception we will get the same error message. Then we are having else block, in which we have displayed the result, and at the end, at the last, we are having finally block, in which we have written finally program ends. So basically now I have given the positive output, that is we have entered a number, proper number other than 0. So definitely that particular number will divide the 100 and from which we will get some result. So now in the output I have entered 3, then division took place, and as there is no exception, else part is executed, that is result is, and the value of R is displayed in the output. And after that, that is after else part, finally block is also executed, that is finally programs ends. So suppose if you have entered 0, that is enter a number and after that you have entered 0 as the value of num variable, then in that situation we are having exception. So you will get the output as, after enter the number 0, the next line, that is second line of your output is something is wrong, and after that finally program ends. Means even though there is an exception or no exception, this particular block is going to get executed. Okay, so the important statements or part of a program which you want to execute anyhow, then that particular line you should insert inside the finally block. But this particular block is used along with the try. It's not that we are not having try, except and all and we are making use of finally. It's not the case. We have to use it at least along with the try block. Try block should be present. Then again we are having one more example. Again the same program we have used. That is in this case, the second case which we have explained just now, that is second output that you will get. We are taking one number, dividing that number to 100. Then we are having except block, in which we have specified the error, that is 0 division error. And if this particular error occurs, then we are having printing statement as something is wrong. And after except we are having else block, in which we have just printed the result. And after else block we are having finally. So again here what is the difference? That is only the difference between except sentence. Otherwise the entire program is same. Okay. So if you are entering 3 as a value, you will get proper answer and the finally block will be displayed at the end. And even though you are having the error in this program, still something is wrong will get displayed and the finally ends. This particular statement which is present inside the finally block will get executed. Then we are having raising exception. Raising exception means with the help of raise keyword also we can raise the exception, that is we can send the request to the interpreter to send a specific exception. So for that purpose we are having raising exception. So just see the syntax. We are having raise, and after raise keyword you just need to make use of exception. We have to write down the name of the exception, which is compulsory part in the syntax. And after exception, in a square bracket they have provided two values, that is args and trackback. So these two are optional parameter. Compulsory parameter is only exception. Okay, the type of exception which you want to raise, the name of that exception should be compulsory parameter, and other two parameters, that is args and trackback, are exceptional parameter. So just see the example. Again we have taken one number, and that number should be integer, and then after taking the number we are storing the value of the number inside val variable. Then we have try block. If val equal to 2 means if we have entered the input as 2, then I want to raise exception, that is IO error. This particular exception I want to raise, and after that we will write down in except block IO error, and then provide the statement, that is an exception is raised. This is the statement which I want to display when the user enter the 2 as a number or 2 as a input. And then again we are having else part, that is value is not 2. Okay, so enter the number. If we are entering the 1 as a value of val variable, then we will get message as value is not 2, that is there is no exception, so else part will get executed. And suppose if you are entering the value 2, so now whenever we are having value 2, we have raised the IO exception, so the except block will get executed and you will get an error message as an exception is raised. Basically we are not making use of this particular keyword raise to raise the exception, because normally also, that is in except block also, if we are writing something then the IO error is occur. But in this situation what is the case, this actually particular program is very useful in case of divide by 0, because in divide by 0 if we are providing the condition, that is if we are using the raise, then it will be very helpful. So whenever we want to manage the wrong input, in that situation we are making use of raise, because there is no other way that will create the exception when we enter any number. So this is the way, that is with the help of raise keyword we can have the wrong input error. So if you want to raise an exception by checking certain condition, then in that situation you can make use of raise keyword, like in this program, because there is no other way to raise the exception whenever we are entering a specific value. So this particular thing you can use for divide by 0 also. Then we have exception with arguments. Exception with argument means we are having certain value, that is we can give argument to an exception, which is a value that gives additional information about the problem. The content of the argument vary by exception types. You can capture an exceptions argument by supplying a variable in the except clause. Means along with the except, after that we will provide the type of exception like divide by 0, and after that we will be having argument, and that particular argument is nothing but a variable we will pass as a parameter, and the value of that particular variable we can display. So just see the example. So again we have taken one number, we are trying to divide that number by 100. Then we are having exception is nothing but a exception type, and then we have to use as keyword, and then we are having argument, that is e is nothing but the argument, and then within a print into round bracket exception colon. Okay, this is the text message which will get display, comma we have displayed the type e, means which type of error is occur. that if you want to know that, in that situation you can use type into round bracket e. So suppose we have entered 0, so that is division or 0 division error, right? But we have provided the name of the exception as exception class we are using. We have not written 0 division error. So if you wanted to know about the type of error, type of exception is which type of exception is occur, so in that situation you can use exception as argument, okay, and just display the type of that particular argument so that you will get the message. So just see the example. We have entered the 0, means we are trying to divide the 100 by 0, so that is 0 division error, but I don't know that name of the error. So this is the reason why I have used except as e, except exception as e, and we got the output as exception, and the type of exception is displayed, that is 0 division error. This is the type of exception which occur, so that is displayed. Then the last topic is zero defined exception. So sorry, user defined exception. So user defined exception means all the exception which we have seen, in that we are making use of inbuilt exception classes, right? But if you want to create your own exception, so that is nothing but the user defined exception. So for it is possible in Python, that is to create user defined exception. So for the same we are going to see one program. Just see the program. Now we have not seen object oriented programming of the Python. So here they have created the class. If you want to create a class in Python, just use the class keyword, the name of the class, that is demo, like exception, 0 division error, IO exception. These are nothing but the name of the exception class. Similarly, I want the name of my exception class as demo. So for the same, what I have written, class demo into round bracket exception. We have to inherit this exception class. All the exception classes which we have seen, IO exception, 0 division error, they are following, means all the exception are having exception as a base class. So now also, as we are creating user defined exception demo, it should have exception as a base class. So to provide base class, this is the way to access or inherit the base class in Python. Within after name of the class into round bracket, just place the name of the class which we want to inherit. So in this case I have written exception. So we are inheriting exception as a base class, and in the class I have just written pass keyword. Then after that we are going to take one input from the user. Then in try block I have written code as if val not equal to 18, means user has entered any other number than 18. Then we are going to generate the exception, that is we want that user should enter 18 as a number, not other number are allowed to enter. So if val is not equal to 18, we have raise demo. Demo is nothing but the exception which we have created, so that is the user defined exception. So raise demo, then accept demo, and then we have printed the statement as exception raised value no match. Okay, exception raised value no match means the which we are expecting one value which user has not entered, and this is the reason why I want to raise the exception. So this is the reason why accept demo. So demo is not the inbuilt exception, because we have already seen at the last lecture all the methods which are present, exception classes which are present in Python, inbuilt exception classes. So demo is not inbuilt exception class. Now we have created that particular class, right? So that we have used except demo, then print into round bracket, we have printed some sentence, and after that we are having else part. So basically if we are entering the 18 as an input, we will get value match, and if you are not entering value as 18, if you are entered like in this screen, the user has entered 5 as a value, so we will get an exception, that is exception raised value no match. So this is user defined exception. Here we don't have or we have not used any inbuilt class. We have created our own exception class and we are making use of the same, and in that class we have just written pass. If you have used any printing statement, normally in class you cannot make use of direct printing statement. The class should have the methods, and in the coding part then we have to call the method of that particular class to execute the code. And this is the reason why, just to show you simple user defined exception, here we have used only pass keyword. So it will simply pass, that is, it will continue with the execution by sending the error message. Okay, so this is your exception handling chapter. So here we are done with the exception handling chapter, and this is the last chapter of unit number 3. So now we have completed our third unit. Okay, so this much is there. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.